So, take this, we make it bigger. Big! Showdown! Final discussion of the final cards, because some of them got released today or yesterday. There we go. So, the last of the cards have been revealed, so we're just gonna take a look at all of them all at once and say whether or not I think they're overpowered or good. Ma and Pa is ridiculously overpowered. I have no idea what they were thinking. Like, at the end of your turn, you gain 5 corpses. At the start of the next turn, you spend 5 corpses to give your hero plus 5 health. Does that mean the Ma and Pa is going to be an instant target, etc., etc.? Yeah, but there's a lot of taunt in Plague / Unholy. And that's what this is part of the stuff for. Now, will you be able to get the triple blood rune blah blah blah? No, but this card will be findable under the quality of a blood rune, which means you can literally be playing a triple blood rune deck and still get Ma and Pa in your deck from a blood rune card. Super, super overpowered. I suspect it will get nerfed into the ground and either end up costing 5 or it'll have its health reduced. Because removing a 1/8 on turn 4 or even turn 3 is really difficult. Here's Noelle, you have a good one. Reshka, the pit boss, costs 1 less for each minion that died this game. Death Rattle, take control of a random enemy minion. So it's a feed into this thing, instant Sylvanas. They've obviously forgotten all the instances where they've banned Sylvanas from play, and then they just give Sylvanas back. They're like, you know what, Sylvanas is fine. In Death Knight, which is an overpowered card, and not only that, she has Rush, and she has less health than Sylvanas. Good job, Blizzard! You made an even better Sylvanas! That out-Sylvanas is a Sylvanas. Now, do you have to get a bunch of minions to die first? Yes. Is that really a problem for Unholy Death Knight? Fuck no. Is that really a problem for Frost Death Knight? Not really. So, yeah! Just give Sylvanas, like, this is either gonna get banned, or I'm gonna say it's probably gonna have its rush removed. Because being able to crash into a fucking minion and steal a minion is, like, a mechanic that they have literally fought against. Oh yeah, and the rat will bring her back, guaranteed, with the rat from the excavate abilities. This card, also known as, no, you don't have cards, needs a nerf. It already needs one. Then we have Harrowing Ox. Taunt, battle card. If you've excavated twice, your next card this turn costs 7 less. Now see, this is a 7/7 thing that is actually pretty good. Cost 7 is a 7/7. Makes something cost 7 less. Woohoo! Of course, that could also bring out Reshka, who could still be costing an arm and a leg because you haven't killed enough minions yet. But, you know, we aren't talking about that. Now let's take a look at... Oh, this doesn't have the excavates. And we have the corpse farm. Spend up to 8 corpses to summon a random minion of that cost. With 8 cost being a possibility, holy shit. Okay, so you can just randomly get a Lich King. You can randomly get a Ragnaros. Awesome! Yay! Me, of course, I will be aiming for the, like, 2/4 minions that exist in 8 mana just to make 8 mana worse. Battlecry, excavated treasure. It costs 0. Which means you can potentially get back the thing. So here's the card in question. The Reshka, overpowered as shit, right? Well, After you've excavated 3 times, your 4th excavate is guaranteed to be this card. 4-cost minion that resurrects your highest cost minion. It gets +2/+2, reborn, which means it comes back after the first time it dies, and lifesteal. So you got a 6/3 coming back, flying across the screen, and not only that, it does it twice, and steals 2 of the other person's minions. Yay! The Azurite Rat by itself might have been okay, but with Reshka in the game, no! All the rest of these are neutral cards, they're just things that you can get. So the first time you excavate, you get one of these, and they're alright. This one's probably the best one, the Restore 3 Health Draw card. Oh, and for rogues, Pouch of Coins is really good, but that only for rogues, really. The Discover a 2-cost card, it costs 0, is kinda might not be too bad. But on the whole, these are good cards. Like, none of them are bad cards. And then you got Azurite Chunk, which is, you know, falls into the category of, I guess. Then we've got Canary, which is a sap for all classes that have Excavate, which is ridiculous. Falling Stalactite is also pretty good. It's alright. Glowing Glyph is goddamn ridiculous. That is overpowered. If it was give a minion its neighbors +1/+1, it'd still be powerful. +1/+2 is fucking ridiculous for its cost. They got Living Stone, Taunt, Death Rattle, summon a random 2-cost minion, which is garbage. That's really not great. For 2 mana, it's okay, but on the whole, 2-cost minions are a big risk. There's a few 2-cost minions that suck and will actually make your game worse. So, yeah, no, anything that summons a 2-cost minion makes me go, nope. Then we have Discover a 5-cost card. It costs 0. Because, you know, things don't have value anymore. 3 damage to all enemies for 3 mana is ridiculous. Motherlode Drake, which is overpowered as shit. Yeah, Lore Walker Showtime. Or, blow up all your minions on the end of your turn time. Oh, did you think you had minions? Yeah, no, they've all been destroyed. 2-cost minions are the worst. At least random 2-cost minions are the worst. There's good 2-cost minions, but the randomness is just... Ugh! Or both of the Nat Pegels, or... The Motherlode Drake, overpowered as shit, especially when we take Druid into account, but that's beside the point. It's Russian Divine Shield and Lifesteal, so it's definitely gonna heal you for 4, and it's also not gonna die on that turn that it comes in. Yeah, that's not great. Ogrefist Boulder, which I think is fucking hilarious. This just amuses the hell out of me. I don't hate it entirely. And it also is overpowered as shit. Like, for 3 mana, get a 6/7 minion. Usually 6/7 minion would cost at least 5. So, yeah. 5 cost effects for 3 mana. And then we had the Steelhide Mole. Taunt Reborn, can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. That one's alright. It's alright. To be honest, it isn't that powerful next to some of the other ones. And then we had the Azurite Rat, which is the specific one for DKs, and it's overpowered as shit. In combination with Reska. On the whole, it isn't actually... I personally don't think it's that bad, but with Reshka, it's absolutely fucking terrible. Then we got Crop Rotation. Remember how I said it isn't really hard for Unholy to summon get a bunch of corpses going, like for Ma and Pa or Reska? Yeah, summon 4 1/1 undead with Rush that die at the end of turn. And since you're not using corpses, that is 4 undead with Rush that also, A, can have poison applied because of another minion that exists in the game. B, can be 3/1s because of another minion that exists in the game. Yeah! And then they die at the end of turn. So if you don't use them up, then, you know, they die anyways. But you're probably going to use them when you need to. And that's 4 extra corpses. That's just wow, you know? Anyways, Death Rattle, the next time you excavate, resummon this. So this fucking thing doesn't leave the board. And it generates a corpse each time. Yeah, Ma and Pa funding itself is also terrible. The fact that it's a 1-8 is also terrible. If this was a 2-6, I could put up with it. But as a 1-8, when 8 is so hard to remove at turn 3 or 4. Yeah, no, that's not okay. You do not deserve +5 health just because you managed to put out a card in turn. It's not good. I don't like it. It's not as broken as Reshka. Let's get that straight. But I still don't like it. Doing a farmhand. Discovered undead. Quick draw. It costs 2 less. I'm fine with this. This is pretty good. This is a pretty solid one. Deal 3 damage to excavated treasure. I like that. That's pretty good. It's pretty solid. Deal damage to a minion equal to your corpses. That's fun. I like that. And it doesn't waste your corpses. It just deals damage equal to your corpses. That's fine. I like that. That's good. These cards, solid. This card's really good. Like, this card is a really good card that I don't think needs a nerf. This card is questionable. I'm not sure. This is sort of okay, except for the problem that... So, remember how I was saying that Excavate makes cards have no value? Like, you pay 3 and get 5. So, if you use this to get up one of your 3-cost minions, you get the one that gives the huge stats. So you can play this and turn it into a 6/7 on turn 4 or 3 if you're going second. Yeah, that's not good. If it was excavated treasure, it costs 1. That'd be fine. Or excavated treasure, it costs 1 less. Okay. Oh, sorry. Here, let me try and fix this. This needs to, it costs 1 less. That will be fine. It'll make the 1 cost 0, and 2 cost 1, and so on and so forth. It still reduces the cost, but to be honest, this could just be Battlecry Excavate. Off to bed, night-night. Have a good one, Chromies. Thank you for being here. So yeah, these are pretty these ones are pretty overpowered. This is fucking good. This is good, solid card. I like that. This needs a nerf already. This is good. This I'm not sure about, because I'm not sure exactly how it'll affect itself, but it could be alright. And these are solid cards. All these are solid cards, and I'm okay with their existence. Which, I mean, you know, if it was up to me, I would definitely nerf some of the stuff that's already here. Then we got a Demon Hunter, Gunslinger Kurtras, Battlecry. If your deck has no duplicates, so this is a one of the decks that Reno fits in. More on Reno later. If your deck has no duplicates, fire 6 random 2 damage shots at minions in the enemy hand. So you can literally do permanent damage and or kill minions in the enemy's hand. How and why? What? And 6 random 2 damage shots. So literally 12 damage spread across all the minions in your hand, which could potentially kill all of them. What? Like, what? What? I'm still not sure what I feel about that, but I mean, it's an interesting mechanic. I don't know if I hate it. If it's aimed at a DK and that DK isn't me, I guess it's alright. But also see, Druid. Battlecry, roll 2 dice, then discover 2 cards of those costs. Doubles get an extra discover. That's pretty cool. Though, I do find that Demon Hunter already has a lot of cards in hand, so you're rolling 2 dice, discovering potentially 3 cards. That's not great. Plus, you know, they can cost as much as 6. So you could end up with 2, at turn 3 you play Snake Eyes. Get 2 6-cost cards, and then an extra one. That's not great. That's a mitt full of cards you can't play for eons. Yeah. To be honest, I will be irritated every time it gets played against me, but at the same time, it's kind of a cool mechanic, and I can appreciate anyone who's coming up with cool mechanics. Snake Eyes also has the exact same thing going on. Then we have the Blind Eye Sharpshooter. After you play a Naga, deal 2 damage to a random enemy, and then draw a spell, then switch. So after you play Naga, you deal 2 damage to a random enemy, you draw a spell. After you play a spell, deal 2 damage to a random enemy, and draw a Naga, and so on and so forth. Which I think is pretty cool. I like that they brought back some of the Naga mechanics, and have Nagas again going on, because those mechanics were pretty cool in Voyage of the whatchamacallit. That's alright. And we have Battle Cry. Draw an Outcast card and slide it to the left of your hand. Yes! Please! Excellent card. Fucking should have been in the game since the goddamn start. I love this card. It puts it in position to be a good outcast for you all of the time. Good! I hate having a card stuck on the left side of my hand that isn't outcast and can't be cast for like a bazillion turns. We got 6 damage split among the lowest health enemies. I'm not sure. It doesn't sound like they're individual shots. I wonder if it's an instant hitter for shots. Because that can make a big difference in terms of like let's say they have a card out that whenever it takes damage it draws a card. So is it going to get shot 4 times, draw 4 cards, or is it just going to deal 4 damage? And I'm not sure. Because then it would only draw 1 card if it was dealt 4. I'm not sure. I want to see how this one plays out. If it was pings, it would be interesting and I would like it better. But if it's just split damage between all the different targets, and it's just a one-shot, one-kill type thing, okay. I'm just hoping it's pings, because, I mean, it's implied with the name, Fan the Hammer, but that doesn't necessarily mean shit. Blow the Chamber. Deal 2 damage, your next Naga, Fell Spell, and Weapon cost 1 less. Which is just amazing. This is a ridiculously powerful card, and I like it. I think it's setting exactly what it should be, because it takes the cost here and just transfers it here. Plus you get 2 damage on top of that. You get 2 damage for free, and your next Naga and Fellspell and Weapon all cost 1 less. This is a straightforward good card. Parched, and it's a Fellspell, which is excellent, because Fellspells are like bread and butter for a number of effects right now. Got Parched Desperado, who's another Naga who has definitely been in the Badlands too goddamn long. If you cast a spell while holding this, give your hero +3 attack this turn. That's just a solid Naga that should have always been part of the original Naga group, like giving your hero attack. We got Midnight Wolf, Rush, Outcast, summon a copy of this. That's so incredibly, ridiculously powerful. Holy shit. And of course, if you're not paying it for its Outcast cost, it's still a solid card. It's just ridiculously powerful when it's actually Outcast. Do I have a problem with it? No, because there's many other cards that are way more powerful in this set already, so I'm not really worried about it. But it's gonna be a strong move. We have Pocket Sand! Deal 3 damage, quick draw, which means if you play it the turn you draw it, your next opponent's card costs 1 more. Excellent. Love that. Perfect. Did it? Did the stream end? Looks like it just bugged? I am still here. This is a good card. It's solid. It does some damage. It makes opponent's cards cost more. That's good. That's all good stuff. I like it. Oasis Outlaws. Discover a Naga. If they've played a Naga while holding it, reduce its cost by 1. That's alright. I like that it's a discover card that costs 1. Those are always solid cards. And not only that, if you happen to also have played a Naga while holding on to this, it gets cheaper, which means like the cost here just gets reflected into the Naga you play. Which is good. I like that. Is on the whole Demon Hunter good? It's got some interesting effects. It's got some decent support for itself. It only has 1 new Fell spell, which is, you know, not that hot, but the cards that are here are not too bad. But not too bad is just not the same thing as overpowered as shit. Which is what Druid is! Hello! Why, it's Druid! Druid, which is overpowered as fuck. 9 cost card that costs 1 less for each dragon you summon this game. But wait, that's not all. So this 412 fucking card that's just gonna sit there, it has lifesteal and taunt and rush. You know, just in case there wasn't enough attached to it, can end up costing you, oh, I don't know, 5 mana? 4 mana? 0 mana? Yay! Then this is another one that doesn't have excavates. But it does have the, if your deck has no duplicates, summon the most overpowered card in the entire series so far. Where is the nest? There it is. At the start of your turn, you discover a dragon. It costs 4 less. That thing cannot be removed. It's not a location. It's not removable in any conceivable way. It just spawns. As soon as this fucker gets played, this spawns, and every turn you get a dragon that costs 4 less than normal. Which also applies to, say, this fucking thing. Making it cost even less. And so on and so forth. It is so overpowered. I can't even understand how Blizzard thought that that would be just a great idea. But wait, there's still more! That's only the first 2 ridiculously overpowered cards. They have Taunt, Battlecry, summon a copy of this for each dragon in your hand. You get a mitt full of dragons. You can completely fill your entire board with 3-4 taunts. Oh, did I mention that this isn't how many dragons you've played this game? It's how many dragons you've summoned. So you could literally play this, fill your entire fucking board with dragons, and this will cost 2, even if you've never played a single dragon before Dragon Golem. Why? I don't know, because things just aren't overpowered enough, I guess. Now I'd be like, well, it's a 7/3/4, you really wouldn't want to play it unless, like, you've got a lot of dragons in your hand. By turn 7, you're gonna have a mitt full of fucking dragons. It's really not that big a deal, especially with things like, oh wait, Dragon Tails. Get 2 random dragons that cost 5 or less, or get 2 that cost more than 5. So, theoretically speaking, you could get a bunch of tiny dragons or a bunch of big dragons. It doesn't really matter so long as you're filling up your hand with dragons. So your Dragon Golem can fart out a shit ton of dragons, making your Fae the Setting Sun cost nothing. Then we've got the Desert Nest Matron. Taunt, because, you know, all of these minions having taunt already is just not good enough. We need to have them all have taunt. If you're holding a dragon, refresh 4 mana crystals. Oh, do you have a whole bunch of stuff? Do you have like 3 of these in your hand? How about 5? How about 200? You can all play them over and over and over again. You know, it's fine. I'm so confused with you guys saying the stream is back. Anyways. Battlecry. If you're holding a dragon, which I'm pretty sure you will be, gain an empty mana crystal. Is this thing overpowered and going to get nerfed? Yes. Is it going to end up costing 3? Yes. And 3 is still still a little overpowered, but at the very least, they leave it as a 2/1 cost 3. That'll make it equal to cards that it's replaced. That's so ridiculous. I didn't even see my frames drop. Usually I can tell when I'm disconnected. Anyways, discovered 2-cost minion. You know, like the Splish Splash Whelp. Summon a 1/2 copy of it. Awesome. And did you think there was enough dragons already? Wait for it, there's even more fucking dragons. Battle Cry. If you're holding a dragon, deal 5 damage to an enemy minion. And it's a chonky dragon too, at that. Then, also, if you were worried about not having enough dragons in your hand for your dragon golem, well, you can take to the skies. Draw 2 dragons and give them +1/+1. And then there's Rehydrate, restore 7 health, and also restore 2 mana crystals. You know, if you play it the turn that you draw it. Awesome. Is this overpowered as shit? Yes. Does it need a nerf? Oh my god, on so many levels, yes. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. But yeah, yeah, Druid's way overpowered. I don't know what they were thinking. So many of these are so ridiculous. Like, if this costs 20, I can agree to it. But instead it costs 9. It's utterly playable even if you don't play any other dragons in your deck, which, why wouldn't you play more dragons? This has been the best dragon set, and it is now the best dragon set in the game, even though Priest Dragon used to be, like, Dragon Priest used to be a huge thing. That's how overpowered it is. With just 1 set of cards. Then we have the nonsense that is Hunter. Zelda in the Lost. So this is another no duplicates, so another one that Reno fits in. Battle Cry. If your deck has no duplicates, gain immune this turn. Attack on all your attack all enemies. It's not powerful enough. Because he's not a beast, so I don't think he can receive 90% of the stuff that you would want him to receive. Like, hand buffs tend to only hit beasts for thing. Hand buffs only tend to hit beasts in Hunter, so it's not that great. I mean, it can theoretically, you know, get some stuff done, but it's still not great. Then we have Spurfang, who is a beast. Battlecry and Death Rattle summon a random beast with cost equal to this minion's attack. As is, this sucks. It desperately needs hand buffing, so... Sharpshooter? That's a cute card. I like it. You get 3 copies of Arcane Shot by the end of it. That's good. That's good. That's a nice solid little card. It could even cost 3, I think, but having it cost 4 is totally fair. Settle up. Give your minions Death Rattle. Congratulations, it's not gonna get used. Summon a random beast that costs 3 or less. Congratulations, this will never be used. Not ever. This is completely worthless card. Anytime it's Hunter and it's give your minions Death Rattle, congratulations, you don't want it. Why? Because you don't... crowd control's a really big thing for Hunter. Or, sorry, a really big thing is defense against Hunter. So you never really have more than 2 minions out if you're lucky. If you have more than that out, you've already won the game, so you desperately don't need fucking Saddle Up. It's not gonna get played, it's a completely worthless card. We got Camouflage Mouth. Give a minion +3/+3 and a random bonus effect. When it dies, summon a chameleon that has the same bonus effect. And that bonus effect can be basically any keyword, like Rush, what is it? Rush, Poisonous, Divine Shield, and so on and so forth. Basically, it adapts your minion, and then you get a chameleon that has that same adaptation. There's a few extra ones that aren't part of the original adapt sequence. I don't think it gets the Death Rattle to 2 minions, but it has all the rest of them, and then it also has Rush. So we also get a Bovine Skeleton. If this has 4 or more attacks, summon the Bovine Skeleton. This will be so broken in duels. Blizzard, why? Why? It's so overpowered in duels. And probably overpowered in other things too, but like, you could literally have a permanent Bovine Skeleton on your board with any of the ones that like make your minions chonkier. Alright. Anyways, it's all right, and it's pretty solid. I don't got a problem with that. 10-gallon hat fixes the problem with hats. This is the way hats should have always been. Draw a minion, get a +1/+1, and death rattle, get a 10-gallon hat. Excellent. Congratulations. Instead of it just being a complete waste of space, it actually draws minions, buffs them, guaranteed, and you aren't just sitting there with a hat in your hand that you can't either play or that disappears because you don't have another minion that it gets transferred to. This is always good. This is the best version of the hat that they've ever made. And yes, there's been several versions of various hats. This is the good one. We got Silver Serpent, Rush Poisonous, Quick Draw, Gain Immune this turn. Because, you know, Rush Poisonous previous to this cost 5. 5! Now it's 3, and not only that, it can have Immune! Blizzard, why? Well, block terms are not for the sake of making chat frustrating, it's for the sake of keeping yourself safe. So, you're just goofing around. Okay. Anyways, so Messenger Buzzard. Death Rattle, draw Beast, give minions in your hand +1/+1 for a 2-cost minion? Holy shit, are you kidding me? And then there's summon 2 woodwind snakes with stealth. This is alright. You could probably summon 4 for 1 and it probably wouldn't be too bad. They're just little 1/1 snakes with stealth. I mean, they might have permanent stealth, which could be good, but, I mean, AoE exists and I don't really think they're gonna stick around that long. Yeah, Sneaky Snake seems like a solid card. That one's not too bad. Some of these are overpowered. Some of these are precisely where they should be. And then there's Thelder in the Lost, which I don't even know what they were thinking, because I just don't see where it's that good. Well, I guess the Messenger Buzzer does actually buff the minions in your hand, because, like, him hitting for 3 is really not that good. It's efficient for the cost, but I would want him to have way more attack to clear a board or something. We have Mage, which is another Excavate one. Cards that didn't start in your deck cost 4 less, but not less than 1. That's only while this is in play. It's an alright card. There's been other cards like this for Mage before, so this isn't any bit of new ground. Mazadune the Fractured. Draw an elemental, split it into 2 halves. I'm not sure exactly how that's supposed to work, but, you know, like, if it has a battle cry, do each of them get half of the battle cry, or... who the hell knows? One presumes that it only splits the cost and the health and attack in half, but it's hard to say. To get the whole battle cry? Yeah, that makes sense. Reliquary Researcher, if you've excavated twice, cast 2 random mage secrets. Of course, mage has an absolutely fucking ridiculous excavate, which gives them a free fucking titan, which are so overpowered. Well, some of them suck, but even so, having a minion that can just buff or debuff or do ridiculous removal or do ridiculous spell casting or... Damn! Split Rag sounds really good. This seems like a fun card. I hope I get a copy of it. It'll be fun in it'll be fun in duels until it gets banned. Secret, when the enemy plays a card on the turn that it entered their hand, get a copy that costs 0. So this is the anti-quick draw secret. It's fun! I mean, you're pretty much guaranteed to end up with quick draws this way. And I can only imagine that those would be good. We got Blast Mage Miner. Battlecry, excavate a treasure. For each card in your hand, deal 1 damage to a random enemy. This is good. You can excavate. And you also get to... And after you've excavated, so you have at least 1 card in your hand. You'll probably have way more, because Mage is pretty good at holding cards in their hands. You deal 1 damage to a random enemy, which could even be the hero. So, yeah, damn, alright. Play a 6-cost card, and blast the opposite hero for 9! Deal 2 damage to an enemy minion and its neighbors, and quick draw to all enemies instead, which also means that this also hits face. Which is ridiculous, if you get it on quick draw. Draw a different arcane spell. If you play it this turn, it casts twice. It's a nice solid card. I like that a lot. It's a neat mechanic. Also encourages you to pack a fair few arcane cards in, which you might notice there aren't actually a lot of arcane cards here. In fact, there's none. So this pulls out old cards from the previous sets, which is kind of an interesting choice too. And we have Sunset Volley. Deal 10 damage randomly split among all enemies. Summon a random 10-cost minion. So you could literally do 10 damage to face, because again, it's all enemies, not just enemy minions. And then you summon a random 10-cost minion. You know, just in case there wasn't enough insult to injury. You're also getting a random 10-cost minion. I did mention before that if this cost 8, did 8 damage and summoned a random 8-cost minion, it would be even better. But as it is, it's still really solid. Uh-huh. Then we have Overflow Surger. Summon a copy of this for each turn in a row you've played an elemental. You might notice there's only one other elemental here, so you're gonna have to supplement with quite a fair few other elementals. But because of the splitting action of Mazadune, it's not gonna be too bad. Then we have the freeze an enemy, excavate a treasure, which is alright. I think it's actually a bit slow, but it's alright. So Mage on the whole is a little bit scattered in terms of what the fuck it's trying to do, but most of the cards are pretty solid. But in the exact same way, the fucking excavate for them does give them a free Titan after every excavate after excavate 3. So like 4th excavate on, congratulations, you are now summoning Titans for 1 mana every turn. That's not okay. So like these cards are middling, but the actual excavate mechanic for Mage is so overpowered that yeah, no, it doesn't really matter. And I don't think the whole elemental cycling thing is really going to be a thing. I think people are going to try it, realize it's stupid, and just go back to excavating as much as possible and getting free Titans. So we have the Badlands Bandit. Get 8 3/2 bandits with bonus effects. Any that can't fit into your hand are summoned instead. So like you cast this and you fill your hand. Which means you need to play it. You need to play the spell itself on turn 8, so that you can at least empty your hand with one guy. So on turn 8, you can chuck a bunch of guys into play and fill your hand entirely. It's just a choice. You also can't play this on an empty hand. You really desperately need to play it on a nearly full hand, too. Yeah, I wonder how the Reno... the Reno, Yeah, the idea is definitely to play it on an with an empty board and a full hand. But at the same time, you have to play it on turn 8 in order to not burn a card. So you're still kind of like a very, very full hand, but you still need enough room to actually play one card. So you have to take that into account, especially if you're doing the Living Horizon here. Cost 1 less for each other card in your hand. I mean, burning cards isn't necessarily bad until you burn that one card that was actually going to win you the game, and then you get real mad. So then we've got Spirit of the Badlands, Battle Cry, if your deck has no duplicates, so this is another one that Reno fits into. Get a permanent Mirage. Oh, I can't remember what the Mirage is other than I was really annoyed by it. At the start of your turn, transform into a being in your deck. That's right. So you get this Mirage that allows you to play a card out of your deck that isn't in your hand yet, which is, you know, that's alright. Now here's my question. Showdown, I still can't think of a way in which you would have advantage with it, except if an aura is in play that makes your outlaws bigger, either when they are summoned or when they attack, in order to survive the other outlaws. Because you wouldn't want to, like, you definitely want to play it with an aura going on. Alternatively, you can do the 3/3 outlaws, and then if you have the deputization aura on, you can heal yourself for an absolute ton. But otherwise, all you're doing is giving someone some corpses. I mean, you know, DKs are definitely not going to be a problem. Yeah, infinite Kangor time. Because, you know, we definitely needed more Kangors. Oh, did you play a Kangor? Did you play 3? Did you play 10? But I'm sure that won't be a problem. Infinite Kangor is definitely not a problem. After all, you know, hand buff paladin will never result in gigantic, you know, formless fucking Kangors being drawn infinitely from your hand. We have Living Horizon? Alright, sure, alright. It's not bad. Not sure it's great, but it's not bad. The fact that it has taunt helps it a lot, though. They have Lay Down the Law, tradable, set a minion's attack and health to 1, quick draw, then deal 1 damage to it. So it's 2 cost, removal. 2 cost removal! On Paladin! You know, Paladin that usually struggles to remove cards. This is a 2 cost removal! Oh, and did you not have any cards to play it against while it was in your hand? That's okay, trade it! When you draw next time, you can definitely just whoop! 1 shot, 1 kill, fucking bullshit. Why? This would be overpowered in decks that do this kind of thing already, but you're gonna give it to Paladin? Paladin? Paladin, which is their only fucking weakness, is easy removal? They usually have to use their minions to do removal? Yay! I'll take. I mean, do Paladins need instant removal? No. Paladins are sitting in a pretty sweet place right now where they can ramp really fast with a big board, develop their board really easily, keep buffing their hand. They do not need any quick removal. They just don't. The only thing that you're going to deal with when you're dealing with Paladins is throwing down some taunts and trying to keep their board clear as possible so you can actually hit them in the face. This gets rid of your taunt instantly. It's not okay. This kind of, like, is it cool? Yes. Is it thematic? Yes. Would it be great if Paladin had a problem maintaining their board? No, it'd be fine. But Paladins don't need this. They're fine where they're at right now in terms of board control. Like, I'm sorry, but when you've got like 3, 4, 6 attack, 10 health fucking minions with lifesteal and fucking lifesteal and taunt and divine shield come flying across the board at you, you really don't want them to be able to instantly remove your taunt. Like, I really feel like it's just not good for where Paladins are at right now. It might have been useful at some point in time when Paladins were a lot weaker and a lot slower, but as it is, that's not okay. That's just no. How do Paladins ramp? Okay, so take any minion with Divine Shield and ideally Taunt. Put down the Murloc that buffs your hand, or the guy who comes out for 5 mana is a 4/4 with a bubble, and watch their hand become enormous. Then they can Kangor with Lifesteal and Divine Shield to pull things out of their hand that are huge. And that happens every turn from then on. They're fine. Like, they don't need any help whatsoever. They can literally put out so much garbage every single turn. And it's usually quite cheap because, like, Kangor only costs 3. No, I guess it costs 5. Does it cost 5? How is that not ramp? Their board development, if you don't like the term ramp, their board development is on a good level right now for the idea of them being able to instantly remove cards. Oh, my apologies. I would call that mana ramp. But sure. Their board development is ridiculous right now. They do not need hard removal. Actually, I would have called that mana gain. Their tempo. There's a better word. Their tempo is just fine. They don't need hard removal. But on the whole, I think, like, Spirit of the Badlands, it's alright. Badlands Bandits, I don't think anyone's gonna play it. I straight up don't think it's playable. Showdown, that's gonna be very, very useful under the effects of the, what's it called? It's gonna be useful under the effects of this aura and the other aura that gives them, like, +1, +2, +1. So that you get a bunch of minions, the other player doesn't actually get to keep their minions. Or this one, which will just heal you for a bunch. It's an alright card. It's alright. I don't know if it'll get played. It might be discovered. You might want to discover into Living Horizon, potentially, but I'm not sure people really want to play it. And the reason why is because Paladins are already sort of sitting pretty. Like Spirit of the Badlands, it's gonna get played. Because that Permanent Mirage is gonna allow you to pull out infinite Kangors. And then people are gonna bitch about infinite Kangor combos, and yeah. Hi-ho, Silverwing, Divine Shield, Death Rattle, draw a Holy Spell. That's a solid fucking card. The fact that it's a dragon is also frickin' ridiculous, but again, it's another Divine Shield. Which is so painful to play against when you're dealing with Paladins. Deal 3 damage to all enemies, costs 1 less for each enemy minions. I like this. I like this. This is fun. If someone fills up their board, you get a nice big AoE. That works. And I'm alright with that. Holy Cowboy, which I have already identified as being an absolutely hilarious piece of artwork, because there's no way that that's not a female Tauren, and then they realize that they probably shouldn't call it the Holy Cowgirl when it looks like she's doing a reverse cowgirl on a Kodo. You know, just a whole thing. So your next holy spell costs 2 less, solid card, excellent, don't get a problem with it. Lawful long arm, rush, lifesteal, battle cry, gain 1 attack for each card in your hand. Holy shit! Of all the ones where your hand should be full, which is the Living Horizon and the Badlands Bandits, this one's fucking ridiculous! And you do really want a lot of cards in your hand for that. Because Rush, Lifesteal, plus potentially, I don't know, an aura or two, can result in an ungodly amount of health restored. And, not only that, it may actually stay on the board a while, because it's not like it has low health. This is a strong fucking card. Especially if you pull it out via Kangor, and yeah. Oh no, I guess that's the one thing that you don't want to do, is you don't want to pull this out via Kangor. You might not play it necessarily then. But nah, I still probably would. So yeah, Paladin on the whole, I think they got some interesting tools added in. I'm not sure all the ones that are getting it played. Like, the ones I think are gonna see play, Spirit of the Badlands, Showdown, Deputization, Aura, Lay Down the Law will have 2 copies in everybody's deck. Hi-Ho Silverwing, definitely. Maybe Holy Cowboy? Maybe Lawful Longarm, depending. But yeah, Paladin's already in a solid spot, so they don't really need much enhancement in terms of new tricks to the trade, and Lay Down the Law is pretty powerful for that. So we have Elise, Badlands Savior, as a 5/5 for 8, which is ridiculous, but if your deck has no duplicates, summon 4 copies of 4 random minions in your deck. You know, just a casual way to pull out a Titan or two. If you're playing duels. Oh, look, it's ANR and fucking Amanthul. Thing is, I'm sure someone's gonna use Elise to do something so gobstoppingly bad that I can't discount her as being, like, you know, shrug sort of character. There's probably something you can do with her. Probably not with any of the cards they're offering up here. Let's face it. Probably not. But there's probably some, like, random minions that you could potentially put in a deck with Elise that would result in absolute nonsense going down. In particular, words. Well, Amanthul being one of them, but also the Keeper for Priest, whose name is escaping me. Oh my god, how am I frickin' derping out on this? It isn't Hodier. Yeah, it's 2020 in total. But, like, I just feel like there's something here. This seems really, really powerful after someone figures out what they can draw out with Elise. I mean, people used to play, shit, I'm gonna forget his name. The guy from Karazhan. One Night in Kara, who summoned a 1/1 copy of a random minion in your deck. She does that 4 times! Imagine if she pulled out a Rag, a Lich King, and, like, I don't know, the Moarg give you 8 armor, and, like, Amanthul. I mean, you could do it with death rattles, you could do it with passives, anything that isn't a battle cry is pretty much free game, and she can pull out 4 copies of them. That's pretty good. Yeah, plus, I was just like, wait a second, is Death Rattle please summon or play? And it's summon, so yeah, that'd also be overpowered for that. At least they're only 4/4 copies, because can you imagine if these were 5/5 copies of even 3 random minions in your deck? You could jungle giants with this bitch. Are you kidding me? At least jungle giants, no! Oh, cry copy each one cost card in your hand, which works specifically with the ones that put everything into 1 cost bottles after you play them. Summon a 4/4 copy of a random minion in your opponent's hand. I'm not sure. I don't think that's great. This could probably cost 3, and I still probably wouldn't play it, but at 4, it is unfucking playable. Yeah, double quest, double release. Unfortunately, you can't play 2 quests at the same time. Because, you know, why not? Benevolent Banker. Discover a spell from your deck. Quick draw. Enemy deck instead. Quick draw. The quick draw on that is super fucking fun. I like that a lot. Like, I like that a lot. It allows for Thief Priest, plus it is also from, not a copy of, so you're actually physically stealing that card, too, which is really good. Like, I like Benevolent Banker. Bring it the fuck on. Then we got Thirsty Drifter, costs 1 less for each 1 cost card you played this game. Plus, I just realized this also has a, has the benefit of the Mage Secrets not benefiting from having an extra quick draw card in their hand. Because usually quick draws, the added benefit is usually just like less cost or, you know, more damage. But in this case, you literally cannot steal from the enemy's deck if you get it via the Mage Secret. So yeah, it's even some nice insurance against that Mage Secret. Yeah, time to steal someone's Infinite Arcane! Yoink! Thirsty Drifter. Taunt. Costs 1 less for each 1 cost card you've played this game. I like it. I like it. I feel it. I like it. That's alright. Plus you can, like, after you've, like, played some of these things that generate 1 cost cards, you can pick the Potent to do them twice, then play them, and then get the Thirsty Drifter to cover up your field. I like it. I like it. It's good. Then we have the 2 cost cards. There's 3 of them in total. Or sorry, the 1 cost cards. The ones that they have a various costs, but they also generate the 1 cost spells that can be copied. Swarm of Light Bugs. 10 1/1 Light Bugs with Lifesteal, which is more than your board could ever hold, but you also get the excess in a 1 cost bottle. So this initially costs 5, but it also throws the rest of them in a bottle. So you could summon 2 or 3. Ideally, I assume you will want to not have more than 7 left in your hand, though, because I have a feeling that the 1 cost card doesn't put the rest in your hands again. I think. I could check that. Yes, this only summons the excess Light Bugs. So it doesn't generate a new bottle afterwards. But that's some decent coverage, and in duels where you could make them also be 3/3 bugs with lifesteal is fucking ridiculous and hilarious, especially considering that this is a generate minions as a spell, so it doesn't cost extra. For the 2/2 and your minions cost 2 more buff. So we have Invasive Shadeleaf. Deal 8 damage to an enemy minion, save any excess in a 1 cost bottle. I can see this just being played for 4, dealing 8, and, you know, that's that. So, I personally think that this should be 4 cost and deal 12, or 3 cost and deal 8. It's only to a minion, and the chances that you're gonna have any excess in a 1 cost bottle is pretty much nil. Like, so many minions have so much health now, I just can't imagine a 1 cost spell the one-cost bottle that's generated afterwards to be reasonable. But I suppose if you really need to remove something that doesn't have very much health, this is a good way to do it. But again, the spell that comes from this, you don't get to put more back into a bottle afterwards. So it's kind of like one of those twin spells, only it's all the damage now or all the damage later. And then this is the other one-cost spell. Restore 8 health to a damaged character, save any access at a one-cost bottle, which completely goes against the concept of overheal, which is still a mechanic that's being used, so it's not great. Like, of all the ones, this one seems okay until you realize that you actually want to overheal, oftentimes. Or that overheal has a massive benefit, so do I think it's good? I think it's okay if you aren't playing with overheal for some reason. But at the same time, I'm sort of like, Because even here, see? Right here. Let's say this injured hauler comes out, it's a 3-3. You hit it with the holy spring water, and it doesn't get overhealed. That seems bad. Yeah, I know, right? It's like right next to an overheal minion. These things don't work together. Why are they being released together? Again, it's still an interesting idea, but at the same time, it's mostly just gonna hit yourself in the head with it, and then the second spell to hit yourself in the head again, but I would be inclined to use it, say, to discover it and use it on myself. The 2-cost 8 heal, that's alright. At the end of the day, yeah, it completely fucks with overheal mechanics, and you want to still use those, so... Do I think it'll have play? I think people will discover it to heal themselves, but I don't think it'll be in people's decks unless they're trying to do a Highlander Reno and have Elise actually doing things. They might put it in for the purpose of, I just need another fucking card. We have Tram Heist, which is literally plagiarize, only it costs 4 and you play it on your turn. Plagiarize is already overpowered, and you get to choose whether or not you want to use it! Unlike plagiarize, where you're like, oh, that rogue cast a spell, I wonder if it's plagiarized, I think I'll play conservatively. Oh look, they only got 1 card out of me. Tram Heist? Yeah, no, you just get to choose when you decide to take all of their good cards. Awesome! And in duels, it's gonna be so overpowered with that particular card that when you play a card that the other person has done, you steal the original version or whatever. Not sure exactly how that works with him, but yeah, there's something going on there. Yeah, you could get quest rewards with that. Oh my god! Haha, Brucon! You know, just a casual Brucon heist. Let's go. That's so powerful. I don't think it's too expensive, though. I think that's actually sitting right where it should cost. Then we have Rogue. Who excavates again, goddammit. The unfortunate thing is you end up having to keep those legendaries in hand until you've excavated 8 times so that you can actually get the benefit of the spells being free, because otherwise you will fill your hand way too fast. 4 spells for each excavate, and they cost 4 less. If you imagine if they cost 0, there's a big difference between the two. I think Rogue, as it stands, is a little slow, and because those spells are completely random, they may not even be good. And that's also a big problem. Like, it's not like Mage who's getting Titans, and Titans are always good. It's getting spells. And the spells could be any spell. They could be buffs, they could be deal damage to yourself and a minion in your party, or discard a card. They could be like, it's a super big grab bag. So I'm not sure how much I like it, but I mean, it'll be fun to play. But Rogue also got shafted on a couple of other random things. Oh, here's the other one. This was the other card that we were looking for. Velorock the Deceiver, who's apparently a black dragon. Oh wait, is that the black dragon that flies around at random all over the Badlands? That's really funny. Charge. It has charge even. After this attacks, discover a card from another class. It costs 3 less. At least it's a discover effect. That's a pretty good card. I like that. Then we have the Wishing Well, which is the after you play a coin one, which is the reason why the Excavate gain 2 coins is pretty good for Rogue. After you play a coin, get a random legendary minion from another class and set its cost to 1. Do I think that's gonna be useful? I think you could use it as kind of a... like, you put Wishing Well into your deck, and then you kind of, like, wait until you get a bunch of coins, drop Wishing Well, and then just get a bunch of legendaries. Are they gonna be good? Who the fuck knows, but probably not. Plus, with the coins each generating 1 mana, you'll be able to play those cards too. So, yeah, that's alright. And it's a legendary minion from another class, so while there is still some grab bagness plus really weird random stuff that you could end up with where it could be something that's like a mechanic that can only be handled by that class, it may not be too bad. Or you could just get 4 Kangors, why not? Just let them rotate round in your deck over and over again. Dart Throw, which you're only going to use when there's 1 minion on board, which to generate a coin. Do I think this is a really good card? No. Do I think it should actually do more damage? Yes. It really should do more damage. Like, it should deal 3 damage to random enemy minions if both hit the same minion get a coin. That'd be alright. But 4 for 2? And they might technically hit different targets. Like, it's gonna be something you end up holding in your hand for way too long. It just strikes me as a card that is gonna be really hard to get good benefit out of, so which is why I would want it to do more damage. So that you're actually tempted to use... The reason why I want it to do more damage is so that you're actually tempted to use it when you aren't guaranteed to hit the same target. And we get the Antique Flinger. You've excavated twice, destroy an enemy minion. Solid card, really like it. It's one of the twice excavated ones. It's rogue flavored. It has a good stat block. It's just a solid card all over. I like that. Bounty Wrangler, quick draw or combo, which means you could play it the turn you draw it, or you can wait until it's a combo and then you can get a coin. Sadly, though, it is a quick draw and combo, which it would be too powerful, I think, if it could be, because, like, you can use a card to draw a card, draw the Bounty Wrangler, and then get 2 coins, which, yeah, I could understand that being too powerful. But, even so, I like it. I like it. That's a solid little card. I like that one, too. We got Shell Game. Get a random, completely random, epic rare and common card from another class. That could be... I'm not sure if Shell Game's really gonna get played. I think it's too big a risk and fills your hand up too much to potentially have expensive or bad cards from classes thrown into your hand. On the whole, will it be good? I mean, it's 3 cards for 3. But on the whole, will it potentially put cards in your hand that you either can't play because you'll discard or do a shit ton of damage to yourself with Warlock, or are just very, very expensive, like, say, with warrior cards. Like, this doesn't make them cheaper. There's no overarching make cards from another class cheaper mechanic in Rogue right now, as far as I remember. So, yeah, especially considering with your Azerite thingy, you're gonna be generating a shit ton of more garbage in your hand. Last thing you want is 3 pieces of garbage that are impossible to play. So yeah, I don't think Shell Game's really gonna get any... Like, I think people will experiment with it and realize that the risks outweigh the benefits, and you can put better cards in your deck instead. Like, I think that's how that's gonna go down. Oh look, it's 777s, just to be a card that will absolutely destroy you if you use Yogg-Saron. It is not a card people put in their decks, it's not a card that people would ever play on purpose. It is just awful. This is awful. This is the worst fucking card I think I've ever seen them create, and I was mad enough at some of the some of the Octosari draw 8 card bullshit, but at least you can throw it on the other person's side of the table. You know, you could finagle it somehow. But this is just a trap and a half, and then on top of that, you can potentially get it out of Yogg. He could just play that on you, make you draw 7 cards. And potentially kill himself too, because why the fuck not? It's so bad! Yeah, remember Sprint? The card that nobody fucking played? I don't know what they were thinking with that. If it did 7 damage to a minion and cost 7, another 7, quote-unquote, that I think would be really good is, like... make something, make the other enemy's hands spells, cost 7 more per turn. There you go. Something else. That would make it worth it. That'd be a nice 777. Instead, the good 777 card, the one I was talking about before that costs 7, does 7, and is 7, is this fucking thing. The Harrowing Ox. It's a 7/7 for 7 that the next card this turn costs 7 less. Yeah, they could make 777s, if you wanted it to be good, you could make it cost 7 less. Deal 7 damage to a minion, your next card costs 7 less. Okay! Hell yes! Plus the whole thing about drawing 7 cards when you've already wasted 7 mana that turn. Like, can you fucking imagine? Draw your quick draw cards. Congratulations, you don't get to use any of them. Even if you had a mitt full of coins and you just played them all before you played 777s. I just, it's so bad. Anyways. Do I think that I'll end up taking that back and someone will figure out a way of making 777s work? No. I think even if you tried to make your deck really super cheap and super efficient, 777s will fuck you over every time. We have the Bloodrock Company Shovel, which I personally think that it should be a 1 cost 1/2 instead of 1 cost 1/3. Because you're gonna be tempted to just break the shovel and not use it. Oh look, there's a solo. You know, I waited until 1 o'clock before starting this shit. You were here. So you're gonna have to watch the VOD. We got Stick Up. Discover a quick draw card from another class. Excellent, good, love that. It's a good card. Plus you can get that overpowered paladin card and, you know, throw it back into your deck and then draw it later. You just woke up, holy shit! Hope you had a good sleep. So we're on to Shaman, Scar the Catastrophe. This one's also trying to do stuff with no duplicates, but also lots of elementals. So I think Shaman did it more successfully than Mage did. Mage has got a whole cycling elementals bullshit thing, but it just isn't as good as the Shaman version. So deal 1 damage to all enemies, improved by each turn in a row you've played an elemental. Dr. Holiday, if your deck has no duplicates, equip the Staff of 9 Frogs. Staff of 9 Frogs is basically like a mini version of Jade Golems, which is fine. That's alright. Yeah, Walking Mountain is Walking Fountain's older sibling. Because, you know, we didn't get quite enough out of Walking Fountain. Now we need Rush and Lifesteal and Mega Wind Fury. And it only overloads for 2. So you can hit somebody for 16, heal for 16. The turn it gets played. Uh-huh. Fuck you. It's so overpowered. What the hell? We got Trusty Companion. Oh, cheers! Thank you for the raid, Gaming Chief. We have Trusty Companion. Give a minion +2/+3, and if it has a minion type, draw one of that type. I like the concept of the tribal stuff. That's really good, especially when you're trying to play a elemental every turn. It's just a little card. I like it. We have Giant Tumbleweed, deal 6 damage to all minions, summon a 6/6 Tumbleweed. Fucking amazing. We have Minecart Cruiser, which is another nice elemental. Rush Overload 2, Battle Cry. If you played an elemental last turn, you don't overload. Yes! So it's an overload that doesn't actually overload, and it's a 4/5 with Rush! Thank you, Solo. Welcome on in, you guys. I should introduce myself. My name is Nyx. I'm from the Demby system. We have DID in real life. We're using VTuber technology to help you guys tell us apart, and today we are reviewing the final version of all the new cards for the Hearthstone. The stream's going alright. Also, if you need to do your after stream or self-care, go and have something to drink, something to eat, go have a rest, definitely go and do that. Go take care of yourself, and thank you for sharing your community with us. Amphibious Elixir. Restore 5 health, discover a spell. Isn't there a pre-spell that does the exact same thing? It's a solid card. It's a nature card. That's alright. But at the same time, it's just a little lackluster, but I shouldn't complain that much. Living Prairie, Battle Cry. If you played an elemental last turn, summon 2 3/3 cows with Rush, which, by the way, had the funniest fucking art. Let's see if I can find them. Where are the cows? Oh, there they are. Moo! They're so cute! So it's a 5/4 for 5, and it summons 2 cows that have Rush, which is pretty solid. Like, this is okay on its own, especially if you're just keeping up the elemental string. And then we have the Dehydrate, so we had a Hydrate earlier. I don't remember who had the Hydrate. Then we have Dehydrate, which deals 4 damage to a minion with Lifesteal, which gives you 4 health, and obviously dehydrates them. And Quick Draw, it costs 1. Excellent, love that. And then we have a card that doesn't match the rest of this deck entirely, and I don't know why it exists. Draw a spell. If you cast it this turn, it costs +1/+2 and Taunt. And it's a Murloc. Is anybody gonna put this in their goddamn deck? Fuck no. Why is it here? Nobody knows! It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Why is there a Murloc when the rest of this deck has nothing to do with Murlocs? Why does it have anything to do with drawing a spell? You'd want to draw an elemental. Why? What is going on? But I mean, it's a good Murloc card. It'll be really good in Murloc Shaman. It's just that this isn't Murloc Shaman that people are playing right now, so it's a weird anomaly. It's a good card, but it's really weird that they put it in there. Maybe a Warlock has some of the funniest fucking cards. Oh my god. So you have Tram Conductor Jerry. If you've excavated twice, summon 6 3/3 Tram cards with Rush. You know, just in case that isn't you don't understand that you fill your entire board with a whole bunch of probably mechs. I guarantee you they're mechs. Yeah, they are. Tram card with Rush has mech has mech as a tribe. So potentially you could also, if one of them doesn't die, obviously you play this and then use the trams to kill stuff. You could potentially play this, and then like magnetize something on one of the train cars, and then do even more ridiculous stuff. So we have Popgar the Putrid. Your fell spells cost 1 less and have lifesteal, but that's only while this exists. It's not for the rest of the game. Battlecry, get 2 barrels of sludge. Now, is the barrel of sludge here? There's a barrel of sludge. When this is played, discarded, or destroyed, deal 3 damage to the lowest health enemy. Which basically means that no matter how it leaves the board, it's always going to deal damage, which is pretty good. Plus, there's a whole mechanic on generating them and destroying them specifically to just deal that damage. And not only that, because barrels of sludge have are fell spells, this thing makes them also have lifesteal, which gives you a bunch of healing as well. So yeah, that's ridiculous. So we have the trolley problem. Discard your lowest cost spell, summon 2 3/3 tram cars with rush. Quick draw, don't discard. So, if you drew this turn, you just summon quick tram cars with rush. Wow. But at the same time, if what's in your hand is your lowest cost spell that's in hand is a barrel of sludge, then you're also dealing 3 damage to something and summoning the tram cars. I also like how the Warlock's solution to the trolley problem is to just summon more tram cars and make sure everybody dies! We got Smokestack. Deal 1 damage to a minion if it dies, excavate a treasure. Nice, solid card. That's a good card. It's good. I do not have any problems with Smokestack. It's just like the other ping a minion, draw a card. This is ping a minion, excavate a treasure. We have Moarg Drill Fist. Taunt, Death Rattle, excavate a treasure. Solid card, good card, I like it. Plus it's a mech and a demon, which means you can magnetize to it, and you can also buff it with your demon buffs. We have Sledge on Wheels. Whenever this takes damage, get a barrel of sludge and add 1 to your bottom of your deck, which is absolutely fucking ungodly. If you can buff this thing, now you might note, even though it looks like it could be a mech, maybe it isn't a mech. You can't make this thing more powerful very easily, but I still would aim to, like, buff the shit out of it so I can get a shit ton of fucking barrels of sludge. Then we have Fracking. Look at the bottom 3 cards of your deck, draw 1, destroy the others. Which is amazing! Because you can, again, put a barrel of sludge at the bottom of your deck here. And then we have even more things, because this chick actually puts barrels of sludge on the bottom of your deck on purpose. Plus there's also this card, which, if it's destroyed by, say, being at the bottom of your deck for fracking, it draws 2 cards. Which is also ridiculously good. And then there's the Waste Remover, which I think people will play regardless. Like, I think people will play it even if they aren't necessarily putting a lot of sledges on the bottom of their deck. Because a 7/7 for 4 is that's a good fucking card. Plus, it could potentially be doing damage each turn if you've got a lot of Sledge on Wheels going and Disposal Assistant going. The Azurite animal for the Excavate is the Azurite Snake, which is so ridiculously overpowered, I don't even know why they thought that this was a good idea. Both heroes start at 30, you play 1 Azurite Snake, you're at 40, they're at 20. They can never heal higher than 20 without some shenanigans going on. On your next Excavate, they have 10 maximum health, and you have 50 maximum health. What the hell? Unless this doesn't work that way and there's actually just, like, it just lifesteals it, but it doesn't say it lifesteals. Because, like, this could be lifesteal, deal 10 damage to the enemy hero. That'd be fine. But it doesn't say that. It says it steals the health itself, so... Yeah... Yeah... I'm gonna say that's a little too overpowered. It's gonna get nerfed almost immediately. The first person who just excavates a ton on Warlock is just going to eat the opposing hero with 3 snakes. Like, that's not okay. Anyways, we have Warrior, who we finally found the final card for. Then we have Boom Boss Patchwork, who can somehow do patchwork 3 times and target things that aren't minions on top of the cards that it's destroying on your battlefield. I want to know, though, if Boom Boss can destroy the nest. I'd hope he can. The Druid Dragon nest. It'd be cool if he could. It'd be neat if there was a way to actually remove those overpowered, not locations. Imagine if the boom botted your fell portal. Plus, if you can double battle cry using Bran, that could be really fun. Then we have Slagmaw the Slumbering, who has Rush and Taunt and is dormant for 8 turns, which means that you play it and it has an 8-turn counter before it actually shows up. But every time you excavate, it loses 2 of its turns of resting. So, yeah, you drop it on turn 4 or even turn 3 if you're lucky, and then 3 turns later you have a 16/16 with Rush and Taunt. Yeah, the Boomba should be able to destroy the Barrage, and it should be able to destroy the Pure Nest, I feel like. I'm not sure if it can, because previously we haven't had a mechanic that could remove those things, but I feel like it's possible. It would be at least interesting if he could. And then this excavated twice one, which is just literally you get to cast Brawl and you get to win the Brawl. Reno can destroy the Pure Nest. That's interesting. You get to cast Brawl and you get to win the Brawl. I love it. I love this. I've always wanted this to be a fucking thing, and now it is. So happy with it. And we got Blast Tortoise, which will be completely, well, I shouldn't say completely meaningless. It'll be middling and a halfway decent thing to find via Discover for Warrior. But for Bran, holy shit! Bran in duels is going to have a field day with Blast Tortoise. Deal damage to all enemy minions equal to this minion's attack. Oh, you thought it was safe because it's in Warrior? Oh wait, Bran's a Hunter Warrior. Congratulations. I suppose that's true. It does say clear the enemy board on Reno. We're getting to Reno. We're getting to Reno. So we have Blast Charge, destroy a damaged enemy minion, and excavate a treasure. So the excavate for oh, that's right. It's the one that summons 2 8/8 minions. So the legendary for Warrior, which isn't here for some godforsaken reason, the legendary for it summons 2 8/8 minions. Or sorry, 2 8-cost minions. 2 8-cost minions when it gets played. Some sort of Ox. So this is a solid card. I've got no problems with Blast Charge. It's an excavate and removal all in one. That's fine. Unlucky Powderman. Taunts. Death Rattle give taunt minions in your hand and deck +1/+1. Just yet another random way to buff the ever-living shit out of taunt minions, which helps with the Blast Tortoise. But then there's even more. Taunt Battlecry, give taunt minions in your hand +2/+2. Fran's gonna be so toxic. Oh, cheers, Solo. So, taunt. So this one has taunt, Death Rattle. This is taunt Battlecry. So like this one doesn't even wait for something to die. It can't be silenced. It literally just gives taunt minions in your hand +2/+2, which is ridiculous. And then we got the Battle Pickaxe, which is after you play taunt minion, gain 1 durability. I'm alright with that. I'm okay with that. It's very strong, but I like it. I feel like it's sitting in a good spot. Because if you don't have a taunt minion to play, or you want to buff your taunt minions a bit more in hand before you play them, you really can't swing with it. So, because of that, I think it's fine where it's sitting. I mean, you still might end up having to swing with it, but you might also just suck it up and not swing with it for a turn, which is good. Reinforced plating, gain 6 armor, excavated treasure. I think this is pretty solid too. I would be tempted to say that this could easily have been 2 cost. But I think they balanced it against heavy plate. But heavy plate really is good because it has the ability to be cycled where this doesn't, so either way. Then we have Thunderbringer. Summon an elemental and beast from your deck. Does everybody have an elemental and beast? No. Does some of them have an elemental beast? Some of them. For the most part, not all of them have both. So, some of them have both, like both in the same card, but where's the elemental and or beast here? There isn't one. So it isn't great for every deck. Which, yeah, as a neutral minion, it kind of implies that it might, but yeah, shrug. I'm not sure. Then we've got the neutral minion mechanic, which is the Ogre Gang. There's several cards that are ogres, like the Ogre Gang Ace and Ogre Gang Rider. So this guy, when you play him, it resurrects your entire Ogre Gang and gives them all Wind Fury. And a bunch of the Ogre Gangs all have Rush, which means that he brings them back and they can attack immediately, and they have Wind Fury. Whenever this attacks, gain Divine Shield or Lifesteal. 50% chance to have either. So, it comes back and it gets Divine Shield, gets hit, gets Lifesteal in the second hit, or vice versa. Yeah, all 3 of them have Rush. And then this one is... It potentially gives your hero +3 attack instead of attacking, so you could potentially get 6 attack out of that. And then the last one is just 50% chance to attack the wrong enemy. On the whole, that's a really fun, cute, adorable mechanic that I think is very entertaining, and I can't wait to use it with Vandar making minions cheaper. Then we have Sheriff Barrelbrim, who opens the Badlands jail. The Badlands jail puts minions into dormancy for, I think, 3 turns. It's a location, so it only works a certain amount of times. Is it really that good? I don't know. It could be alright, though. I can imagine it being played in a pinch, but at the end of the day, when someone's starting to go overboard, they usually don't just rely on one minion. One minion could be removed. Flint Firearm. Battlecry. Get a random quick draw card. If you play it this turn, repeat this. So he's kind of like a turn 10, see how far you can get level of nonsense with quick draw cards. Which he pairs kind of good with the rogue coin mechanic, because you could potentially get a bunch more cards out of him. But yeah, we have Rito Lord Ranger. If your deck has duplicates, empty the enemy board and limit it to 1 minion for a turn. Which is just both overpowered and ridiculous. And then he also has these magic bullets. So, you deal 2 damage for free. Deal 2 damage, gain 4 armor. Deal 2 damage, deal 1 damage to all enemy minions. Deal 2 damage, give a friendly minion +2/+2. Deal 2 damage, discover a spell! Deal 2 damage, summon a random 3-cost minion. And deal 2 damage, draw a card. All of those are so powerful. There's gonna be a lot of Reno decks, let me tell ya. I mean, that could work if you could put a bunch of Thunderbringers into the deck. Like, Thunderbringers that bring out more Thunderbringers. They have Azurite Giant, cost 1 less for each turn in a row you've played an Elemental. That'll work well in Shaman, in Elemental Shaman. Okay, I already talked about Cattle Rustler. Draw a Beast, it costs 3 less. It's not great, but might have some sort of niche use with a really specific deck where you've only got 1 beast. Potentially do it. I was just thinking you could potentially do that to sneak out, yeah, getting Reno'd sounds awful. Like, clearing out the deck and then the next turn you literally can't play any minions. Oh, sorry, you can only play 1 minion. That tempo change would just suck balls. I would be very unhappy. I could see Cattle Wrestler being used in Warrior, especially Highlander Warrior. Pull out that 16/16, but if you put no other beasts in your deck, you use the Cattle Wrestler to pull out that minion. Oh yeah, I suppose that would work really well. God, I wasn't even thinking about the stupid elemental generation and duels. At the end of your turn, load 2 bullets that deal 1 damage each. Death Rattle, fire at random enemies. So the idea is that you really want to protect the Rattlesnake for a couple turns so that it makes a shit ton of bullets and then fires them all. And they can target face. The bullets can. Howdy Finn, whenever your card has less than 3 cards in it, get a random Murloc. That's amazing. I mean, Murloc just doesn't seem to be a thing right now, but damn, but there's some interesting Murlocs that they've added. Yep, or the Dragon Nest. I'm really hoping he gets rid of the Dragon Nest, because the Dragon Nest is so overpowered. And then we have Burrow Buster, Rush, Battlecry, Excavate a Treasure, so this is the neutral treasure, or excavate thing. Plus it's Rush and it's a 6/4, which is pretty solid. Taunt, Battlecry, and Quick Draw, summon a copy of this, so it's the Azurite Chain Gang, and it is literally a better version of the original Chain Gang. Oh, it's confirmed that he will? Holy shit! Oh my god. We got Ogre Gang Rider, which we already talked about. Snake Oil Seller. Snake Oils are going to be a very interesting mechanic. Because, especially in duels where you can get consistent spell damage just on your hero. Or with Reno's hero power. Snake Oils are a spell that does 0 damage. So being able to make that 0 become anything other than a 0 is pretty good. So, Bounty Board, I think is kind of interesting. I don't think anyone's going to intentionally put it in their deck. because it's just too vulnerable, but it's kind of cool that your Excavate, Quick Draw, Tradable, and Legendary cards cost 1 less. That sounds like super amounts of fun, but I just don't see it living that long. At all. Then we got Sunspot Dragon, so another dragon for Dragon Druid. Tradable, Lifesteal, Quick Draw, deal 6 damage. Which is amazing. You draw that on turn 6, you deal 6 damage, and it's a 6/6. That's good. That's really, really good. Then we have the Dang Blasted Elemental. Taunt, 4 for 3/3, but deal 2 damage to all minions except for friendly elementals. So you can actually damage minions on your own side with that, which is, I think... But the thing is, it's a death rattle. So for 4, you're gonna be dealing damage to all minions except for friendly elementals. But it can be silenced. That strikes me as just being not a great card. If it cost 3 and did that with a death rattle, that'd be something. But unless that's a battle cry, you aren't actually gonna get to see you're not gonna get to see the fruits of that labor. You're just not. Battle Cry, if you're hurting another 4-cost card, deal 4 damage. That's alright. It's okay. Eroded Sentiment. If you played an elemental last turn, so this is actually a good elemental, discover an elemental from the past. Which is really good. So is this a solid card? Yeah, it's much better than this one. This one's just bad. There's so many forms of removal now, like removal without that death rattle going off, that, yeah. A 3/3 with taunt that costs 4, and that's all it's going to do? Yeah, no one's gonna play that. I feel it. I feel it. But this guy, Eroded Sentiment, excellent. Allows you to keep the elemental cycle going, and it also gets you an elemental from the past, which could include things like what's its name? Like the legendary ones, anyway. Shuffle your hand into your deck, draw that many cards. It's literally a card that will facilitate Warlock. Calamos! Okay, I was right. I was like, Calamos... Because Calamag is the elemental language. I was like, that isn't right. I was close, though. Gaslight Gatekeeper. Why are we giving Warlocks the ability to do their quest faster? Oh, wait. Why are we allowing, frickin'... Like, why are we giving Glide to classes that don't need it, and also giving Glide to a class that desperately needs to draw cards, but also put cards back in their deck? Yep. Is that overpowered? It'll have its niche uses. It's not a bad card overall. It's just kind of interesting that's what that card is specifically getting added to. Yeah. If you want to make sure you get Reno, Gaslight Gatekeeper is gonna be a massive boon. High Noon Duelist. Both players draw, and you destroy the card that costs less. Sounds terrible. Sounds like a card that some people are gonna play just to piss off other people. Like, see play? Yep! Will it cause endless frustration? Also, yep! But you are pretty much not gonna lose on, you know, some cards. So that might not be too bad. We have Horseshoe Slinger. Deal 2 damage to a random enemy minion, quick draw, and one of its neighbors. Is it good? It's alright. It's kind of like the finale 2/1 card from Death Knight. It doesn't really see play. And this does less damage. I'm not sure. I would say they both just get shuffled back into the deck. One would hope. Blind Dance Partner. If you're holding another 3-cost card, summon a random 3-cost minion. That could be alright. Probably not too bad. We have Bunny Stomper. Your beasts have Rush. Because, you know, giving the damn Rhino ability, sure it's not charged, but Rush is almost as good. Giving the damn Rhino ability to something that only costs 2 instead of 5 is definitely not any sort of power scaling issue. They made Cactus Ranger, but they didn't make it an elemental, and I think that's a goddamn shame. What else would this be except for an elemental? It's an elemental! Dry-scale Deputy. Battle cry. The next time you draw a spell, get a copy of it. This is a really, really, really good card. I like this card a lot. Plus, it also works in Demon Hunter Naga decks, so that's actually good too. The Gold Panner. At the end of your turn, draw a card. Excellent, excellent for any deck that's really suffering with draw. And I mean, yep, it's a mana totem, but it's a mana totem for 2, and it can attack. That's pretty good. Greedy Partner. Battlecry. You're holding another 2-cost card to get a coin. Good for rogues. Not too bad. Then we've got the Kobold Miner who excavates a treasure. It's 1/1. Good card. Return a friendly minion to your hand. Give it +2/+2. It's literally a punked out, overpowered version of the original Brewmaster with the Pandaren Brewmaster. Sure, why not? I mean, nothing has value anymore. Plus, it'll be really good for certain cards where you're trying to, like, put them back into your hand, and she also gives you the ability to maintain purity for a Highlander deck. We have Trapdoor Spider, Stealth, Poisonous. After your opponent plays a minion, attack it. Yay! I mean, they basically get to choose what dies, but at the same time, like... Yeah, it's King Dread, only it actually will kill something instead of just mostly likely to kill something. Plus, it also has stealth, making it really hard to remove, unlike King Dread, who you could, like, sit there and ping with spells and shit to get rid of it before you drop your next minion. And it's neutral! It's a very powerful card. Like, a very, very powerful card. And the only reason why I know that it won't see much play, as much as it's like, this is really good, is anybody who's trying to use cards to draw beasts, for whatever reason, like you're trying to get your hands on a specific beast, this is the least important beast you could try and be drawing, so it may see some use in some decks. It's a pretty solid card on its own, but if you're trying to play a beast-based deck, I don't think it's gonna work. Oh yeah, King Dread was buffed to 6 mana. Yep. The price on King Dread dropped. Whelp Wrangler. At the end of your turn, get a 2/1 Whelp with Taunt. Is it a good card? It's amazing for Druid. At the end of your turn, make one of your most ridiculously overpowered cards cheaper. Okay. A Miracle Salesman, Death Rattle, get a tradable Snake Oil. So that's a Snake Oil you can actually use to cycle your cards. Not too bad. And then there's the actual tram mechanic, which you get a Barrel of Sludge, which is awesome. Because, that's another Barrel of Sludge that you can potentially use. So, in terms of whether or not things are overpowered or underpowered, Reska and the Rat are way too overpowered and will get nerfed into the ground. I think Maw & Paw possibly also needs a nerf. The rest of it's pretty solid. I mean, it's still overpowered, but at least it doesn't feel oppressive. Demon Hunter seems good. I like it. I like what they've added in here. Midnight Wolf is very strong, but I don't think it needs a nerf, mostly because things like Druid exist. All of this is so overpowered. I get that they wanted to give a really strong dragon mechanic, but this is way, 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 way beyond what Druid needed in order to run a dragon deck. This is ridiculous. If the Setting Sun doesn't end up costing 15 in the first week, I will be very shocked. And also Splish Splash Whelp needs to cost 3. It needs to cost 3. The fact that it costs 2 is really bad. Oh, there's Rehydrate. There you go. I was like, I know Rehydrate's in a class that heals. Hunter is completely incoherent, but has some interesting / good cards. I would say the 10-gallon hat is the very first time one of the hats has worked. This is straight up bad. This is okay, but it's not that great. Spurfang could be good, but it needs a lot of hand buffing, and there's not a lot of hand buffing going on. There's literally Messenger Buzzard, and that's it, as well as the 10-gallon hat. Sliver Serpent is overpowered as shit. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking about that, but, you know, I guess it's fair play, because there is a lot of other overpowered cards. On the whole, I feel like Hunter doesn't have a lot of oomph to it, but they've got some interesting cards. Mage is incoherent. Mage is just going to excavate and generate titans like crazy. Anything else in here doesn't matter. Seriously, nothing else here matters. You're not gonna do the elemental. You're not gonna do the split it in 2 halves thing. Blah blah blah. It's not gonna happen. Everything else here is just basically inconsequential because all you're gonna do is excavate as much as possible to generate titans. Paladin has one of the most singular broken cards in the entire fucking game for its class. Lay Down the Law is overpowered as shit and definitely shouldn't be in the game. It could cost 3 and it'd still be overpowered as shit. In fact, it should cost 3 and it would still be overpowered as shit. The fact that it costs 2 is just fucking mind-blowing. Spirit of the Badlands is a fun little mechanic. I don't think the Badlands Bandit's gonna see any play whatsoever. And I think the Living Horizon might see some play, but probably not. Deputization Aura is good. And some of these are just some strong... Like, the Lawful Long Arm is probably really, really good in terms of just, like, generating a shit ton of health back for yourself. Same with the Deputization Aura, especially paired with Showdown, will also generate a shit ton of health. But, yeah, on the whole, Paladin was already very, very strong, and then they decided to make it broken by having them have hard removal. Hard, instantaneous removal. Maw and Paw need to become just unholy. We don't want it to be just blood because we don't want it getting paired with the triple blood generate health card. They need to remove it from blood entirely, so you can't even generate it with blood runes. Like find a blood rune card, you need to not be able to get Maw and Paw out of that. And you will be at this point. Elise Badlands Savior, I think there's gonna be some interesting decks generated with that. Some of these are kind of interesting. It's like they tried to do this thing with the 1-cost cards, which has its feeling, but I feel like the Holy Spring Water isn't going to do shit. The Evasive Shadeleaf is probably also not going to do shit in terms of, like, generating a card that will be copied and be useful afterwards. So I feel like, on the whole, you can probably dismiss Pip the Potent and all of these. They're just not going to do anything. And this completely negates Overheal, which is the worst. So yeah, between all of those things, Tram Heist will be ridiculous. Injured Hauler will be okay. Benevolent Banker will be extremely good. And yeah, the rest of this, I don't feel like Priest really got any good cards. But at least I think they're probably going to be able to come up with some interesting stuff with Elise. Then we have Rogue. rogue that has just this mercurial bullshit going on. They're very, very good at excavating, but the problem is they're gonna have so many cards in hand, it's going to be just evil to play. I don't think Shell Game will get used. I think these two cards are super solid. I think Dart Throw should do more damage up front. Bellrock seems alright. Powerful, but it is a legendary. 777s is absolute dog shit. Stick Up's solid. And, I'm still not sure about this. I think I would have made it a 1-2. Showman seems to be, like, in a good way. They've got Jade Mechanic going on here. They've got some really powerful elementals. They can throw cows at people, which is so fucking funny. And they have a random Murloc that I don't understand why it's there. Warlock has one of the newest neat little eat the bottom of your deck, do a shit ton of damage type stuff, which I think is really fun. I think that their Azurite animal, which is a snake, is going to get nerfed into the ground. If it does more than 10 after the first week, I will be surprised. I think they'll probably switch it to 5 instead of 10. Other than that, yeah, I like the mechanics that they're creative with this. And then Warrior, just some really powerful cards. Boomboss Throgan is just fucking ridiculous. The rest of these are kind of like solid in a fun way. I feel like 5 would be too low. I mean, okay, it depends on whether or not you're just destroying 5 of their health, like you're life stealing 5 health, or if you're actually removing their maximum health. Because excavating 7 times will actually end the game. That's not okay. Yes. So the first 3 are worthless, and then the next 4 are all the snake. Oh, sorry, I guess 6 times, because you can just reduce their health from 30 to 0. See, the way it's phrased does not lead me to believe that you're not reducing their maximum health point total. Doesn't it reset after you get to the 4th? I didn't think it did. Oh, well, someone told me that it wasn't that way. Okay, that's less bad then, but still pretty bad. It's not as ridiculous as Raska, though. Or the fucking Titans. So yeah, on the whole, I think Warrior's in a good way, though this is really overpowered. But yeah, there you go. There's a review of all the fucking cards. I hope you enjoy. Now I need to go to bed.